Hi, my name is Chloe Arbogast.
And I'm Marne Quigg.
And for this presentation, we're going to be talking about monitoring Asian elephants. So the main reason we chose Asian elephants is because they live in dense forests and secluded areas, and it can often make it difficult to estimate their populations and status.
The three main methods used for estimating elephant population sizes are distance sampling, genetic analysis, and camera traps. Distance sampling is a form of sampling in which someone traverses a line transect and counts the number of individuals within sight. The assumptions of this method are animals on the line are always detected, distance measurements are exact, and individuals are detected at their original location and not spooked by the observer. So how this works is the observer walks, flies, drives a line transect, and they observe an animal at a distance. They calculate the distance to that animal and the angle in which they are off of the line transect, and then they calculate the distance from the animal to the line transect. That is then turned into a histogram and a detection function. The area below the detection function is the number of individuals that the observer saw, and the area above is the animals that were likely there but not observed by the observer. So there are some pros and cons. The pros are they provide reliable estimates, and they are also widely accepted as a method for estimating Asian elephant populations. And then the cons, line transects require large groups of trained professionals. The hilly habitat and dense vegetations can make it difficult to execute the line transects, and results can become biased if researchers have issues with visibility and detection rates, as in the dense jungle and vegetation.
Genetic analysis is the other method. So they analyze the genetic makeup of elephants and determine individuals of the species. They collect samples from their dung, and DNA can be isolated from scat to identify the individuals. The pros, it provides reliable results for population size if done correctly. They can provide other important population factors, and this is a non-invasive method. Although the cons are, it requires a fully equipped lab with highly skilled technicians that can effectively store scat to prevent DNA degradation, and often limited to small areas with low densities.
Camera traps are another technique commonly utilized. They photograph an animal as it is passed. It passes by either through a movement sensor or a heat trigger, and analysis are able to determine individuals based on variations in tail and ear morphology, scars, tumors, the tusk presence, shapes, to identify individuals. Some of the pros is it is useful for monitoring Asian elephants in difficult terrain because they are able to go out, set the camera trap up, and come right back. They're also able to use it for populations that are more cryptic because humans are not directly present. And it allows researchers to conduct work in analysis remotely through uploading to a remote server. The cons are it can be difficult to identify individuals. Sometimes only a tail or maybe a tusk is captured on the photograph, and you cannot identify a whole individual based on just a tail. And it also is very expensive. The camera itself can be quite costly, and it is restricted to small populations.
So our recommendation is distance sampling. Due to the heightened cost of genetic analysis and the difficulty of identifying individuals in camera traps, this is the reason why we recommend using distance sampling for Asian elephant populations.
And like explained earlier, the errors in distance sampling methods can be corrected during analysis by generating that histogram and that detection function. And you are able to find out how many animals were likely in the area, but not seen directly by the observer. It can also be conducted in many ways suitable to the different habitat types. So you are able to traverse a line transect, even if it is very dense, closed vegetation, by going on foot, maybe in a car if it's a little bit open, or by plane or by drone.
And these are our acknowledgements. And we'd like to say thank you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.